Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be making a pumpkin pie spice cake with some cream cheese frosting for my grandmother's birthday tomorrow. So I'm gonna go over our ingredients and then we're gonna get started. So first I just have some bowls, and behind me I have some spatulas if I need them. And then, of course, I'm going to need my stuff to whisk, and I'm actually going to use an electrical mixer today. So we're going to go over, I do have my cups, and I have some teaspoons and stuff that I'm going to need, and then I have my recipe with me. So first, we're going to need some light brown sugar, and we're going to need 1.5 cups of that. So I'm just going to get a spoon to get the sugar out with. Sure. And I'm just use my 1 cup. Next, we're going to add some eggs. Dry it and wash it correctly with soap, Holly. So next we're gonna add 3 eggs into our batter. So we get a bowl, crack number 1. I'm gonna try to mix it in here. Okay, so that is my one. Let me give me a plate. So that was all my wet ingredients. That's what it looks like.
It looks very gross.
Mm-hmm. So that's all my wet ingredients for the pumpkin. Ooh, let me fix my camera. Okay, for the pumpkin spice, the pumpkin spice cake. So that was all my wet ingredients. And now we are going to add in the pumpkin pie puree. It's actually pumpkin pie mix, not pumpkin puree. So we need 1 cup of pumpkin puree or pumpkin pie. They're the same thing, except pumpkin pie just has some spices in it. But we're going to use pumpkin pie mix, and we're going to put 1 cup of it into our wet ingredients. So we're using the same big bowl, except it's wet ingredients. Open my can, and we are using this brand pumpkin pie mix. I'm gonna add it into my cup. I think I used the wrong side. If I didn't mention already, we're just doing 1 cup of pumpkin spice pie mix. And then we're gonna add it in our wet ingredients, and it's the big bowl that we've been using this whole time. Okay, I'm gonna add it in.
If you don't see anything,
It doesn't look that gross.
it's just sloppy.
So you can wash that out. Thank you. Okay. Now we're going to mix that in, and I'm actually just gonna put some aluminum foil over this. Now we're going to mix that into our wet ingredients bowl. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. It only took a little bit. It's very liquidy, like very liquidy, as you can see. Hopefully you saw that. And it's definitely thin. So next we are going to use my smaller bowl. So I'm going to put this one to the side. And this was my wet ingredients bowl. So now I'm going to use a new clean bowl. You got it. Thank you. And we are going to add our dry ingredients. So that is going to be our cinnamon. We're actually going to start with flour first. So we have 2 cups of flour. So we're going to get our cup that we have washed. We're always washing everything. So that was our first dry ingredient, and we put that in our smaller bowl. Because if y'all, just a little tip, never do dry and wet ingredients at the same time until you're mixing them all together, because it can get very chunky like, and you want them just to be separated. So now we're going to add our 2 teaspoons. So we're gonna get my teaspoon. We're gonna add some pumpkin spice to it, because of course this is a pumpkin spice cake, so we need pumpkin spice. And I'm using, there's actually a local brand around here. It's called Rustic Spice, and there's just some pumpkin pie spice in here. So I'm gonna be using that. And we're gonna again put 2 teaspoons if you didn't hear me earlier. So this is my teaspoon number 1 going in. This is my teaspoon number 2 going in. Yes. Add some cinnamon. And we are doing 2 teaspoons of that. So here's my cinnamon. And I'm using 1 teaspoon thing, and I'm gonna do 2 of them.
Oh, cinnamon stinks.
And I'm gonna add an extra one just because I definitely like mine very spiced. So that was my cinnamon. Next we're gonna add our baking powder, and we are doing, let's see where I put my baking. We're going to be doing 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So I washed mine teaspoon. I'm going to do 1.5. So here's my first one. And this is my half. So we're just going to close that up. And then next we're adding our baking soda. So we are adding 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. So I have
Our baking soda.
baking soda right here. add 4 of these because this is a 4th. So we're gonna add actually 3 of these, not 4. Don't know where I got 4. We're adding 3 of it since we only need 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. So that's my second one, and this is my third one, my third and my last. And then we don't need the baking soda anymore. And then next we're adding our salt. I need that back, please. You don't have to wash it. And we're gonna add my salt, which is the same amount, 3/4 a teaspoon of salt. That's number 1. That's number 2. That's number 3. Going in. And that is all of our dry ingredients. So we're gonna put that to the side. And it says, next, we're going to get back our dry ingredients. Our wet ingredients, sorry, which is our big bowl. And we are going to add half of our dry ingredients, which is my small bowl. We're gonna add half of that, and we're gonna mix it in, and then at the same time, we're going to add some milk. And for this part, it calls for 3/4 a cup of milk, but I like to estimate because I don't ever want my batter to be too runny, so I like to do my own style, and I don't really follow that for the milk, but if you want, you can always add the right amount, which is 3/4 a cup of milk. So I'm gonna get my mixer ready and in. So I finally finished mixing, and I didn't really need a lot of milk because it was already very, very thin when I added my dry ingredients. So that's all for my milk. And now I'm actually going to preheat my oven at 350. What I like to do is actually put it on bake for 350 and then just let it heat up because it heats up faster in case like you're kind of in a rush, but I'm not in a rush today, but I do like to use bake, so I'm gonna put it on 350. And then next, I'm going to get my pans that I'm going to be using and take out my electrical mixer. And what I like to do is take my little mixers out and lick them, and I'll give them to my family so they can always taste it. Holland, what? Do you want one of these spatula thingies? Sure. Okay. And can you stop banging on the table? I'm trying to video something and they can't hear me probably.
Okay, what is this?
So we just like to take a little lick and taste it.
Tasty as the cupcakes.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll just put it in the sink. Next, I'm going to grease my pans a little bit, and then I'm going to pour in my batter. And once we have it all in, I'm just bang it on the counter to flatten it out. And then it's gonna go in my oven that is at 350. Well, it's supposed to be at 350. Mine's at 230 right now, so I'm gonna just let it heat up a little bit before I put it in.